Hello everyone, Max here, and I hope you all are having a good day. I apologize that this video comes off as being rushed, but I feel this was something very important I needed to share with you all immediately. So for context, in the mid-1970s, composer Andrew Lloyd Webber proposed an adaptation of the Railway series by turning them into a series of animated musical films. A pilot was produced, but failed to sell to the American market, and the project was abandoned. However, Thomas would go on to inspire Webber to create Starlight Express, which was far more successful. Since then, very little has come out about the pilot, with only a few comments by Webber himself, details in the Thomas the Tank Engine Man biography, and a picture of Brian Cosgrove working on some of the scenes. I had actually started to work on a video in depth about the production of this, which I still intend to do in the future. However, during my research, I came across something that I felt warranted its own video. In a page from the Daily Express, dated October 19, 1976, I discovered this, an article titled "A Superstar Chuffs In," discussing the then current work on the pilot, and to my absolute shock, a picture, one I had never seen before. It showed Thomas, being his cheeky self, chatting with a disgruntled-looking Gordon. The text attached to it read, "Waiting for their TV debut. 2 locomotives as they will appear on screen." I was floored from seeing this. To better understand, the only other photo we had was of the pilot being animated, since learning about this project. I could not believe it, yet there it was. The article goes on to talk about the production and plans for the series, which I will read off. A smiling steam locomotive is heading a drive to crack the rich American animated cartoon market for British television. He is Thomas the Tank Engine, a sturdy, smooth-running little entity beloved of railway enthusiasts all over the world, and the central character in a series of children's books which has sold 5 million copies from here to Japan. Like Wind in the Willows and Winnie the Pooh, Thomas is not instantly adaptable for export. He belongs to a world of country sidings, level crossings, and flower-dressed platforms. He is basically as English as the steam engine itself. Yet here, Granada Television is launching him on an ambitious all-action series that could lead to worldwide sales. It will cost the best part of £250,000 to make the 10 25-minute programs, at an estimated cost of £1,000 a minute. They see it as bread upon the waters, for they have matched the talents of the Reverend Wilbert Awdry, author of 25 best-selling pocket-sized children's books, with the wider and wilder talents of Andrew Lloyd Webber, co-author of Jesus Christ Superstar. And they reckon the syrup and sand blend of juvenile fantasy and showbiz rock could be a winner. The initial idea came from Lloyd Webber, a self-confessed railway enthusiast, who saw in the chatty, self-regarding exploits of the characters like the much-put-upon Thomas, Percy the Small Engine, and Henry the Green Engine the stuff of telly success. He took the simple dialogue of the stories, altered them as much as the dictates of popular television demanded, and slotted into each 12.5 minutes of animated action 2 or 3 of his own custom-built pop numbers. The result, Granada program boss's hope, will be a Disney-style marriage of tradition and 70s-style music and lyrics. Light Entertainment chief Johnny Hamp conceded yesterday that there have been difficulties between the dream and the realization. He said, "It is a tricky series to do because it is very much an English idea, and we want to make it acceptable here, and in the States, and throughout Europe and the world. So we don't mind slotting in a bit of Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe, if necessary, or going continental as the demand arises. But it has to remain basically English if the appeal is to survive. I don't know if they have engines with faces in America or France, or Germany, but if they have, they won't be the engines the Rev W. Awdry has been writing about since before many of us were born. So we'll keep the English bit going strong, and trust that Andrew's tunes will give it an international depth." Mr. Hamp isn't taking much of a risk, because the multi-channel recording of Lloyd Webber's scores makes it an easy matter to slot into foreign language versions of the lyrics. And like the Beatles' Yellow Submarine, to which Hamp is secretly hoping the new show will measure up, the appeal of the line and the color and unbridled rock should itself prove a winning formula. Yesterday, I had a sneak preview of the first footage of the new show, and can report that the downtrodden little tank engines, and the snooty express locos, and the wheezy little shunters emerge unscathed from their exposure to television. As Mr. Hamp said, we don't feel that we've got it right yet. We may need a little more animation in the engine's faces, And the Fat Controller, he's the human at the center of the action, he isn't really fat enough or pompous enough. The trouble is, we're trying to keep pretty close to the book, and in the original, the Fat Controller always has his back obscured or his face is obscured. Music and pop lyrics give a new dimension to the picture book characters, with voice and projection varied to suit the telly personality. Says Hamp, Thomas the Tank Engine is a Peter No One type, and Gordon, the Heavy Express Engine, is maybe Elvis Presley, and the chorus of the little engines could be the Four Seasons. We reckon Thomas and his mates could work for a lot of people on a lot of levels. We're not out of the shed yet, but we reckon we're on the right lines. If only they knew. There is so much to take in from reading this. First off, we now know how expensive this series was going to be. In today's money, £250,000 is well over $1.5 million, and further explains why the sale to America was crucial. Then there was the struggle of balancing the stories to their English roots with a wider audience, as well as the animation with the engine's faces and the Topham Hatt. Makes me wonder what was going through the investors' minds when this pilot was being screened. Also, Johnny Hamp's comments about the Santa Fe and Gordon's Elvis comparison? What? Anyways, I hope you found this article as bizarre as I did. It's so satisfying to share more about this vague part of Thomas's history. Thank you all so much for watching.